And welcome, my friend, to another new episode of the Positive Vibes Show. So, in today's episode, I wanted to cover the topic of understanding your blocks. A lot of times in life when we're trying to search for what's really holding us back from success, we don't really realize that we are dealing with blocks. So, you need first of all to understand your blocks and then understand how you can overcome them when trying to be the best version of yourself or just trying to overcome a specific challenge. We all face different types of blocks when trying to make changes in our lives. And whether it's just limiting beliefs, fear, lack of support, or it could be something else. So, in today's episode, we are going to discuss the different types of blocks that we can face and also share maybe personal stories with you, whether of mine and my clients, and how they successfully overcame those blocks. And of course, I will offer you practical tips and strategies to help you identify and overcome your own blocks. So, let's start by discussing the different types of blocks that people may face. One of the most and common blocks that we all face in life is limiting beliefs. Probably you've heard a lot of people telling you, oh, probably you're dealing with some limiting beliefs. Or just that you have been programmed in a certain way and it feels terrible to change all of that. So what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is simply a way we see life and the way we have been programmed to see things since our childhood, okay? So these are beliefs that we hold about maybe ourselves, about our environment, about the world, or even about achieving our goals sometimes, okay? And this prevents us from going out there. This simply prevents us from going out there and facing the different challenges that we may have. And the other type of blocks that we all have in life is fear. So fear is another common block. Maybe you have fear of failure. A lot of my clients struggled with this issue where they feel like so afraid of the unknown and they afraid of being rejected even if they didn't even go out there and they didn't even try. So fear is here because we are wired, our brains are wired to protect us from anything that is scary or uncomfortable. And since our brains are designed in that way, we are afraid of going out there and exploring the different, possibilities that may open up for us. So we just stay in our comfort zone because we are afraid of being rejected, of the unknown, of not succeeding in a certain thing. And this takes me to the third block, which is really common also. It's lack of support from family and friends. So this can be a very significant block because whenever we feel that we're not supported by the people that we love the most, we feel stagnant. We feel all that fear, coming over us and just making us stuck, and we stay in the analysis paralysis. Why do we stay there? Because we would tell ourselves that false story, of course. We'd start talking to ourselves in a very negative way in which we would say, yeah, it's going to be hard. No one is going to support me. It's going to be challenging. I won't be motivated. So these are the very common types of blocks that you may have in your life. Now, I'd like to talk about a personal story, of one of my clients who is called Angela. So Angela had a limiting belief that she was not good enough to start her own business. Like when I was coaching her to get started, she was so afraid that she wouldn't make it, until the end. And this felt so draining to her because every time she would like to take action and move forward, she would be stuck, just feeling paralyzed by that limiting belief that she was not good enough, that she didn't have the skills, that she didn't know what to do next, okay? This is a fear that I experienced myself at first when I was starting my coaching business as well. I would always feel that I wasn't good enough, that there is someone doing a better job than me, and it really felt tiring to just think that way. And my brain gets exhausted whenever I start feeling that I was not good enough, that I sucked, that all those ideas really made it so hard to move on. And what happened to Angela when she started working on her limiting beliefs and working on, the fact that she was afraid. She went out there, she decided to journal about that fear and about those limiting beliefs, and she would make the worst case scenario. Like, what would happen if I wasn't good enough? What would happen if I don't end up having the results that I wanted from my own business? And we would go deep in that and just, think about the different possibilities there are in starting that business and failing, So this is what happened with Angela. By the end of the day, she realized that all of that was really an illusion. And she regretted the fact that it took her so long to just move past that fear and past those limiting beliefs. What comes after is really regret. And I don't want you, my friends, to end up feeling that you regret certain things that you didn't take the risk to do, So today, ask yourself this question. What am I really afraid of? What is holding me back from being the best version of myself? I don't know what you're working towards. Maybe you're here just because you could never record without having people kick you. You could never record without having people. Being the best version of myself. I don't know what you're working towards. Maybe you're here just because you're working towards. Maybe you're here just because you have certain limiting beliefs that you want to deal with, or maybe you have the fear of failure or fear of rejection, or even maybe you are just afraid of the unknown. So if you are, my friend, dealing with some of these things, I really would like you to take a paper and a pen, or even just open your laptop and start talking to yourself. Start processing that fear. The best way to deal with these blocks is to face them, okay? So now I am going to give you practical tips and strategies so that you identify and overcome your own blocks. So the first thing that I just talked about is to write down your limiting beliefs and challenge them with evidence to the contrary. So this is exactly what I told you about Angela, who took the courage and wrote down every single case scenario. So what could go wrong? What is the case scenario if something goes wrong? What is the worst thing that could happen, okay? And then I'd like you to give evidence to yourself that this is not true, okay? Let's say your limiting belief is that you're not good enough at something you're doing. So I'd like you to go ask some of your friends, tell them, what did you do? What were you good at? And by asking some of the people that you are so connected with will help you in discovering that you have a lot of power, that you have a lot of, what it takes to be successful. And you don't need more proofs than, just proving that by yourself, okay? Okay, so once you write down those limiting beliefs and challenge them into the evidence of being false, okay, this will help you rewire your thinking patterns and cultivate a more positive mindset. So once you discover that this is just happening in your mind because your brain is trying to protect you from anything that is scary or uncomfortable, you will realize that you can cultivate a positive mindset. You can really be that best version of yourself that you've been trying to be. So this is what I'd like you to do. And then the second strategy is breaking down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks to help you stay motivated and avoid feeling overwhelmed. So one of the things that really happened to me, my friend, is that I find myself a lot of times, just struggling to do something because I didn't for example, when I'm about to record a podcast, okay, I'd be like thinking, okay, what should I talk about? Then I should edit. Then I should post. Then I should edit also maybe the intro. Maybe I should script. So before recording this podcast that you're listening to, there are a lot of work that I do myself, okay, which is first of all, just setting a goal, okay? This is the first thing. Then after having that goal in mind, I just put it into more manageable tasks and avoid feeling that overwhelmed, because this is the one thing that keeps us stuck on the autopilot once again and in our fear zone. So if you want to get out of this, you need to be kind with yourself. I insist on this. Being kind with yourself is something that is going to really help you in discovering that there are a lot of things that could be managed easily without feeling overwhelmed, and that you are capable of doing that yourself. So the only thing that you need is being well organized, know how to manage your time, and obviously just deal and face your limiting beliefs. So these are the different strategies that can, help you in overcoming your blocks. But in conclusion, before the end, I'd like to say that your understanding your blocks is a very crucial step in reinventing yourself and also being the best version of yourself. When you recognize the different types of blocks that you may face, and you share it with other people also, you can talk about it, you can really empower yourself to deal with those fears and those blocks. And this is how you can get to the next stage of your life. I really hope that this episode has helped you in overcoming your different blocks. So I am going to invite you to leave a review down below if you like this episode, and of course share it with your friend. Maybe you know a friend who's dealing with some blocks in his life or her life. And let me know in the comments below what you did enjoy the most and what I can do better. What are the topics that you want me to talk about? And of course, I will see you in the next episode, my loves.